Welcome to the Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes D Scoop. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. See you buffs. Finally, the worst kept secret in Boulder has been exposed. That's right. Hall of Fame running back Marshall Faulk has officially been announced as the Colorado Buffaloes' new running back coach. What does this mean? Well, if you want a very, very, very in-depth breakdown about how the Air Coryell offense really kind of marries Marshall Faulk to Pat Shermer's offense, how their worlds intertwine, and why this is a perfect fit, go to my playlist. I've got a video with Marshall Faulk on the front. It looks like this thumbnail a little bit, but it's from 2 weeks ago. Go check that out. YouTube has a thing where you can't do the same exact uh, content twice. So I just wanted to put that out there. You want me to go in depth? I did that 2 weeks ago. This is just about the announcement and what it means for the immediate future. All right, Marshall Faulk, we know he's a Hall of Famer. We know he's considered by some the best all-purpose back in the history of the NFL. Um, I think this is a home run hire. I think he fits. But let's go down to accolades real quick. Um, where you want to start? Let's go three-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, Super Bowl champion in '99 with the Rams, uh, three-time first team All Pro, which is hard to do, three-time second team All Pro. So he's been an All Pro 6 times, Pro Bowl 7 times, and every year between '98 and 2002. Let's go NFL rushing touchdowns leader in 2000, two-time NFL scoring leader. All rookie team. He's in St. Louis's Ring of Fame, the Colts Ring of Honor. His number is retired with the Los Angeles Rams. Two-time unanimous All-American at San Diego State. WAC Offensive Player of the Year. And his number is retired at San Diego State. And we know he is enshrined in Canton, another Hall of Famer. So we know he has the stats. We know he has the resume. I think, matter of fact, let's check out the first press release from ESPN. We'll go here. Let's go. Front page news. Yeah. Faulk to Colorado. And I just wanted to, I thought this was important to bring up. So when you look at everything Marshall Faulk has done, he's been successful. Had a really successful run on NFL Network. Um, After his playing days, did some sitcom work, playing himself. Um, but this is what I like the most about his original quote. So earlier this week in New Orleans, his hometown, ahead of the Super Bowl, they asked him, front office sports asked him, you know, about taking the job in Colorado. And he says, Deion is an elevator. He's going to elevate you as a person, and he's going to force you to elevate your life. That's what he does. He lifts people up. A lot of the time, the light may look like it's shining on him, but really he's shining a light on somebody else. We're good friends, and whatever I can do to help him, I'm going to do. Wow. Heavy statements from Marshall Faulk. Heavy praise for Coach Prime. And I think a guy of Marshall Faulk's stature, Hall of Famer, coming to as a running backs coach, coming to Colorado. One, if it doesn't tell you anything, Coach Prime will be in Colorado this year. We all know it. You know, I think the deal gets done, but I feel like they waited to announce it. They waited till the time was perfect. Coach Prime will be in Colorado. Secondly, with the newly hired Gunnar White, who may not have the cachet or the resume of a Marshall Faulk, but he has a resume under Deion Sanders. So when you add a guy with less playing experience, you can balance that with a guy who has the playing experience like Marshall Faulk, where the running backs coach, the offensive line coach, they have to be like this. When you think about the schemes and how should my guys, Marshall Faulk talking to Gunnar White, How should my guys be running? Do you want him to fire off the hip on this one? When do you want him to be patient? How you run the ball is dictated a lot of the times by the offensive line. So I'm looking forward to see the synergy between Gunnar White and Marshall Faulk. But I think that's a good balance because there's going to be some things that Marshall Faulk will be able to share with Gunnar about the Air Coryell offense, about all the type of defenses that were literally made to try to stop him. What he saw playing against Coach Sapp, playing against Coach Prime, like all of these things Marshall Faulk brings to the table where he can help a guy like Gunnar White establish himself, where Gunnar White can help him know and understand in a coaching, in a strictly coaching hierarchy. He can help Marshall Faulk acclimate to being a college football coach. I think it's a great hire. And I think the way that they set up that locker room or the way they set up that coaching office is even better. Marshall Faulk from New Orleans originally was recruited to be a defensive back. If you watch the other video, you know that. Went to San Diego State because that's who's going to let him run the ball. Lets me know that he's not afraid to go against the grain, so to speak, for what he believes in. I think he's going to have a very keen eye for what he wants in his running back room. An all-purpose guy like himself, I can literally see him recruiting guys who have more duality and multiplicity than one-dimensional runners who may be big, you know, can't really pass protect well, or that are fast but can't really catch. I think he's going to be looking for all-purpose backs. I think he'll also be able to develop skill sets in the current running backs that may not be there. So if you have a guy who may be a better runner than pass blocker, Marshall Faulk can teach you. If you have a guy who may be a great sweep guy, he may be a guy who can get the ball on the perimeter. Marshall Faulk can tell him how to bounce it, how to stop bouncing so much, and how to run between the tackles. What are your keys based on the defensive line alignment? What are you seeing when you see stunts? If you see run fits where the linebackers have bad eyes and you notice that on film, then what should you do when you run counter to attack those bad eyes? There's so much. Marshall Faulk has forgotten more about football than probably the majority of us will ever learn. And if you go back and look at his tenure on NFL Network, he literally broke stuff down in a way where you could understand it, even if you never ran a ball, even if you never played ball. Some of the stuff, like, a lot of those concepts, I would listen to Marshall Faulk and go do my research because I didn't know him on the NFL level. Hell, I didn't know him on the college level. So being able to learn, he was one of those guys that kind of piqued my interest. So I think that how eloquent he can be, the way he presents himself, his resume, and the brotherhood he has with Deion Sanders, I think all of that make him the perfect hire based on what you needed on this staff. The recruiting staff is going to be able to help. This is when you look at Hall of Famers on this staff, I mean, you got Coach Prime, you got Warren Sapp, but this is Marshall Faulk's room as a Hall of Famer. This helps. This only helps Coach Box, ace recruiter. This only helps Corey Phillips, ace recruiter. It only helps them by being able to sell the head guy in your the head running back coach. He's a Hall of Famer. Being able to brand recognition even more. Because at the end of the day, no matter when Marshall Faulk play, he's a recognizable face. Spent tons of time on TV. So when you talk about Marshall Faulk walking into a high school potentially, right? It's a little bit different than some of the other running back coaches that that don't. Even if the kids don't recognize who he is, the coaches will, the students of the game will, the principals will. So adding more star power, like this ain't just a Hall of Fame guy who flew below the radar. It's just like Sapp. Sap had that brand recognition. 9-9. So many hip hop references to 2 9s on me, like my name is Sap. 99, like I had got 99, like my name was Sap. So many references to Warren Sapp in hip hop. Same thing with Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk is a cultural staple when it comes to being all purpose. Google how many times people have mentioned him in pop culture. So you add all of that up with the mixture that you have. D. Lou played a lot of ball, flew like, great NFL career. Not a guy who's going to be out in the forefront. You look at uh, everything else you have on that roster. This is just the right amount of star power to continue to push this machine forward. I think it's a home run hire. So look, if you have any concerns or questions or anything that you want to talk about when it comes to Marshall Faulk, please drop it in the comments. It's about 2 in the morning. I want to get up. Still kind of, I know y'all hear me being stuffy, but I'm getting better by the day. But I couldn't leave y'all without an update on this situation. So everybody, make sure you blow up his Twitter. Let him feel the Colorado love. Welcome, Coach Faulk. I've never said that before. Coach Faulk. Coach Marshall Faulk. Coach Faulk, welcome him to the Buffaloes. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe now. More content coming. The morning run with me, Uncle Chico, me and Uncle Neely on You Tell Me on Mondays or Tuesdays now. Me going live. My live schedule will be Mondays. We got great content from Auburn. We got some Georgia stuff coming. We got some Falcons. Like we got a lot. And my headline show looks like it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays. So look, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Stay safe. Pete Dukes, I am out.